Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, April 26, 2021. We're in the first day of the new trading week, and we are in the final hour of the current trading day. The final hour of the day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. And the reason I say that is during the day, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders. They are the ones that are in control of the price. They're moving the price around during the day. At the end of the day, in the last hour, and particularly the last few minutes, the large financial institutions make their moves. They're dealing with the largest amount of money, very smart people, best information, best technology, and they start moving the price to where they feel is the most valid price vis-a-vis their buying and their selling. So I consider those to be the most valid price to make by buying and selling decisions from. So thank you all for coming today. It's nice to see everyone. I appreciate you being here. I hope that you had a nice weekend, did something fun, stayed safe, all that good stuff. And I just appreciate you being here. I look forward to this time of the day and all the great contributors that we have on the channel. And so thank you for coming. So currently the Dow Jones is actually down 22 points, down 0.07, 0.07%. The NASDAQ having a big day, up 128, up just under 1%. And the S&P is up 11.88 up 0.28%. So, all right, here's the plan for today. We're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have one day trade today that I will share with you on Apple. That's about all I did today. After that, we're going to go over to the board and we're going to take a look at your current positions. If you're a student of mine, you can put your positions up and we'll go through them each day and we'll see how they're doing. But it looks like there's a lot of green over there, so that will be fun to go through those. After that, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. As you know, in my opinion, it's the most important skill in trading, the skill of being able to follow your plan. Position sizing correctly so that the amounts that you make or lose are significant, but they don't destabilize you and prevent you from following your plan. So I want to touch base on that. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. I do have 3 requirements before whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First requirement, I need to have a confluence combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Number 2, I have to have a good risk to reward ratio. I have to have at least 2 to 1. If I'm risking $1,000 on a trade, I have to be able to make at least $2,000 or more to the upside in order for me to take the trade. So there has to be asymmetrical risk. You have to be able to risk less than you can potentially make. And then number 3, just make sure you please have a good, solid trade plan where you know exactly what you're going to do, regardless of what the market does. Position size for volatility, have an emergency stop, have an end-of-day stop, have your intraday profit targets if that's how you trade, know where your overhead resistance levels are going to be, and then have a good trailing stop protocol so that if you do have a nice profitable trade, you don't give it all back if it reverses on you. So just make sure you have a complete trading plan. Also keep in mind correlation. In my opinion, it's good to have different types of companies in different industries, even getting outside of equities like gold, bonds, silver, the dollar, things like that. So you have even more diversification. I like diversification of types of stocks, industries of stocks, and different trading strategies as well. I do have some end-of-day candidates. As we get closer to the end of the day, I will go through those. We'll look for those 3 requirements on multiple time frames, and if I find something that looks good, I will go ahead and purchase it before the close of the day. After the market closes, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them for you. If you need any clarification on anything I discussed today, please let me know. I'm happy to discuss that and clarify that for you. And then if you have any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at, put them in the chat. I'll do my very best to get to them before the end of the day. And then lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits today that they would like me to update on the board, if you could please just wait till the end of the day. So the market's closed, I'm done trading, pressure's off, and we'll spend as much time as we need to get those all taken care of. Okay? All right, so hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see who is here today. Lava is here. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you are having a good day. I did get your emails. Thank you. Tracy is here. Nice to see you, Tracy. Appreciate you being here. If Paxton's with you, please give him my best. David is here. Nice to see you, David. Hope you are having a good day. Steve Burns is here. Hello, traders. Good to see you, Steve. And appreciate you being here. Appreciate everything that you do for this podcast. I really do, Steve. Thank you. Miko is here. Good afternoon, Greg and all. Hi, Miko. Nice to see you. Hope you are doing well. Frank is here. Hi, Frank. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you had a nice weekend. Jonathan is here. Evening, Greg and group. Hello, Jonathan. Good to see you. Great lesson yesterday. That was our last lesson. I'm always a little sad when I finish up my lessons with my students. So it's because we spend so much time together, get to know each other. And so anyway, I have a lot of faith in Jonathan. He's going to do very well. Did excellent in the lessons. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. And hope you had a nice weekend. Thanks for everything that you do for this channel. Lova says DNMR. All right, let's look at DMNR. DNMR. The 200 and the negative 30 ATR were support last week. That's true. But the 30 RSI was resistance. That is true. Today it broke above the 30, the 50, and the 50 RSI are two ATRs below. The weekly time frame might be the only concern. Well, I like on the weekly that we're back in the value zone. My only concern on this, Love, is that I feel like this is a little chasey at this moment. It's a little extended. So I think from a risk to reward standpoint, I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, it could just keep going really high. There's no doubt about it. You just never know. But all I can do is look at this chart with what I have and go, you know, that's a pretty significant risk if I use the 200-day, which is probably what I would want to use. Me personally, I'd probably wait for a little bit of a pullback just to give me a better risk to reward ratio. It rejected the 10-day as well. Steve says, Tesla earnings after the bell should be entertaining. Yes. Yes. And I cut out that, well, here it is, Steve. This is from Earnings Whisper. This is always nice. So after the close today, we have Tesla, some other companies I don't know. Tomorrow, UPS, GE, 3M. After the close tomorrow, AMD, Microsoft, Alphabet. Wednesday is Apple, Facebook. Thursday is Amazon. So big earnings day, big earnings week, excuse me, this week. So definitely should be interesting. Paxton says, what's up? Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Jonathan says, IWM 1050 SMA cross and Beyond Meat V1, but below. I think I have Beyond Meat here. Yeah, it's Beyond Meat's okay, I think. Sorry, I'm getting all these emails here. Let me close this down so that doesn't bug me anymore. And then let's look at IWM. So here's the 1030 on IWM. Here is the 1050 on IWM. And Okay, so there is the 1050. So 223.06, 223.02. That is correct. Very good, Jonathan. Let me do a little math there. And it looks like here the 1030 also crossed. Yep. So the 1030 also crossed. So either of those would be valid. Let me put this over here. Steve says that's my favorite earnings calendar. Mine as well. Definitely. I love that calendar. Gary is here. Hi, Greg and group. Hi, Gary. Hope you're doing well, bud. And Mamal is here as well. Steve says, I will have to take that IWM trade. Thanks, Jonathan. Yep, it's totally valid. Which one are you going to take, Steve? You going to take the 1030 or are you going to take the 1050? Both of them, we have a confluence of those today. All right, let's get to it. First off, oh, wrong chart. First off, I did take AGQ on the weekly along with Gary, return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside. V1, rejection of the 50-day moving average. So all in all, nice confluence of indicators bought here at 43.96. It's 47.15. So far the trade up 6.91%. So good little trade on AGQ. On Budweiser, myself, Jonathan, Frank, Gary, David did take Budweiser on the monthly bars with the higher low V2 while MACD was positive, bought at 62.91. It's currently 70.56. This trade is up 12.27% so far, so that's doing really well. CVS, I did buy CVS with this return to value, sideways motion. V2, I bought it at 74.61. It has moved up nicely. As you know, I take profits, partial profits as we go up. We did get to my 1.5 ATR trailing stop level. So at this point, I am just waiting for a close below the 5 EMA to exit the trade or a close below the previous day's low to exit half of my position. If it keeps moving up, I'll get out if and when it rejects the 70 RSI, and then I'll get out totally if I get a close below the previous day's low. Goldman Sachs, I took a half position. David took a position. We took the 520 crossover here at 335.28. Moved up nicely, took some profits, came back down, closed below both the 5 and the 20, which is the crossover that I took. My rules tell me to get out half, but luckily I kept half because now this has moved up significantly in the last 4 days. I did hit a profit target today at 343.16. So this one's doing nice. IBB, we have Steve, Tracy, Greg, that's me. Half position on this one with a 520 crossover, bought at 154.50 with a 520 crossover. No, excuse me, 530 crossover. 530 crossover, bought at 154.50. Hit a profit target the next day. Friday, nothing. Today now is doing very well, up 2%, almost to my trailing stop level. So once I get to the orange line there, that's my trailing stop level, then I'll go into trailing stop mode, which I love. As soon as I hit that trailing stop level, I'm always excited because it makes the trade easy. I know exactly what to do. Most likely I've had a profitable trade. But yeah, up 2.2% today and up about 2.46% on the trade. ILMN, having a good day finally. This is on, oh no, excuse me. Here we go. Tracy, Frank, and myself did take ILMN with a 520 crossover here at 408.58. It's currently 418.60. It's up 0.87% and up 2.24% on the trade. CarMax went positive. Frank and I bought CarMax with the 520 crossover, bought it at 131.21, gapped up, got kind of close to one of my profit targets, but then came back. I bought at 131.21. It's 131.10, so I'm down 11 cents on the trade. LITE. All right, Lilia and I did buy this trade on the weekly with a return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, V1, under 50, over 50, lots of good stuff here. Bought at 91.74. It's 94.37. It's up 0.31%. Hasn't moved much. I've held this a while, but it is up 2.85%. So happy with that. Merck. Jonathan and I did buy Merck with a higher low V2 2 weeks ago at 77.42. It moved up nicely. It did reject the 50-day moving average, 50-week moving average at the end of the week on Friday. That's my signal to get out of half. We have earnings coming up. Of course, I will get out before earnings. Is down a little bit. So far, looks like it was a good idea that I sold half, but it is up nicely on the trade. And then SPY, I did have a nice overnight SPY trade. I bought the SPY at 416.74 on Friday, sold it at the open 417.42. So not too shabby, not too good, not too bad. I will buy this again today at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk. I did have one day trade on Apple today. That's all I had. It was on the 5-minute. Here we go. We had this sideways motion on the 5-minute. We went to the downside. Then MACD, the only reason I took this trade, and I'm glad I did, obviously, but the only reason I took this was because we had a 520 crossover, but we had MACD crossing over at the same time. I bought it at 134.59. Next bar moved up. I sold half at 130. No, excuse me. 134.59. I sold half at 134.69. I sold half of the half when we had another big up bar here at 134.88. And then we had another up bar. We got close to the third ATR channel. I sold the rest at 134.92. So in at 134.59, out at 134.69, out at 134.88, and at 134.92. So good little trade there. I wasn't too active today. Let's take a look over here at your positions. All right, here we go. This is Frank having a big day, 7.39%. What a trade. But we know this trade. Frank bought this all the way back here at 135 even. It more than doubled. He sold 90% of his shares, pulled back. He has a 10% runner that he's just kind of a trailer that he's keeping. But the 90% he locked in, if I'm correct, Frank, more than double profit. And then on his little 10% runner, it looks like he still has 39.4%. So one of the biggest trades I've seen this year. So congratulations to Frank. Canopy Growth. Tracy bought Canopy Growth with the bounce off the 200-day moving average. She bought it at 27.15. It's 27.64, so it's up 0.84% today, and I think it's about 1.88% on the trade. So wonderful, Tracy, and wonderful, Paxton. Nike. All right, Steve had a beautiful purchase on Nike with a deep dip buy here, rejection of the 200-day. He bought it at 126.90. It's 131.46. So he stepped in when it looked really scary, but he had the support of the 200-day moving average below and a very good risk to reward ratio. And he is up 3.55% on the trade. So way to go. We have David bought you at 97.90. Is that right? Yeah, with a higher low V1, 97.90. It's 104.62. If all these numbers are correct here, David, looks like David's up 6.34% on the trade, which is outstanding. ELY is Frank. Frank bought ELY at 27.75. It's 29.29, unchanged on the day, but up 5.29%. So way to go. India. All right, here's another deep dip buy that Tracy and Steve took here. This was a bounce near the 30 RSI. It was a V1 bought at 39.56. It's up 1.42% today. And this trade is up 2.58% for Tracy and Steve. Excellent. And then last but not least, we have GNRC. And let me see. Steve and Jonathan bought GNRC with a 520 crossover. They bought it Friday, 331.12. It's currently 331.95. So up about 83 cents on the trade and up 1.3 $1.37 on the day. But up on the day, up on the trade, regardless, right? And that's all that matters. All right. Tracy says, earnings tomorrow for ILMN. Yes. So, I will be getting out of ILMN today at the close. Forgot to mention that. But yes, I will be getting out of ILM today at the close because of earnings tomorrow. Give me 1 second. All right. Frank has a poem for us. Sweet. Let me get this and paste it in here so I can share it later on social media. All right. Frank says, when all goes well and it's time to sell, a trade comes together and starts to gel. Traders use levels and try not to dwell. Don't let a stock keep you under its spell. That's good. When all goes well and it's time to sell, a trade comes together and it starts to gel. Traders use levels and try not to dwell. Don't let a stock keep you under its spell. How good is that? And that's true. Everything is about levels. I always talk about levels. What levels are holding? Are the 200-day levels holding? 250s? Are the 30s holding? I like here that, you use the levels and you try not to dwell. Try not to dwell. If it doesn't work out, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And this is perfect. Don't let a stock keep you under a spell. That is so true. Or anything, right? Johnson, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hi, Greg and all. Gary says, Frank, words of wisdom with the Z. Steve says, I'm also in you after the 520. Oh, okay. I thought I had you on there, and for some reason I thought I took you off, Steve. I'm not sure, but sorry about that. 520 EMA cross at 101.86. Okay, 101.86. Got you there, Steve. Steve says, I'm also in PLTK. Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, you know what, Steve? I tried to put you in that. I can't pull those up on my charts, but that's why I didn't have you. I tried to pull it up. It's not there. Lyft has a new 520 crossover. Let's take a look at Lyft then. Yes, it does. And let's do some math. Okay, so I've got that on there as well. IWM, Nectar, Roku. Okay, got that all. Thing says, I think I was in and out of you this month. Yeah, that's what got me confused there, Steve. Steve says, crazy trade navigator didn't at PLTK. Yeah, tried to pull it up. Does not pull up for me. All right. So listen, before we start looking at some end of day trades, I have a little trader psychology I want to share with you. This is kind of a twofer. This first one is from Julian Lewis over on Facebook, from J. Lewis Trading. And I really, really love this saying. And I mean, this is just really good. I mean, let this sink in and resonate with you, because it's fantastic. It really is. If a trade is not obvious, it's obviously not a good trade. From Julian Lewis. I mean, how true is that? I mean, how to the point? I know I texted this to Kamal earlier, but if a trade is not obvious, it's obviously not a good trade. I mean, how simple and to the point and wonderful and beautiful, just beautifully simple is that saying. If it's not an obvious trade, it's just obviously not a good trade. And you know, when I studied with Dr. Alexander Elder, I always remember he taught me, look, it has to jump off the page at you. It should jump off, grab you by the face and just go, hey, look at me, right? Instead of, you know, he used the analogy of don't get a ruler out, don't get a protractor out, don't get a laser level beam out and try to make something of a trade that's not there. And then I saw this picture, I was thinking about this, and then I saw this picture. This is from Steve Burns, and look at this. Same thing. That's why you have two great traders like Dr. Alexander Elder and Steve Burns with the same thinking here. When you look too hard for a trade setup that really isn't there, look at these golfer guys down in their little funky positions trying to read the greens, right? It's kind of hilarious just by itself, right? But, you know, they're taking this serious and they're really trying to find a trade. And so Steve says, when you look too hard for a trade setup that really isn't there, again, it should jump off the page at you. It should just jump off, grab you by the face and say, look, this is a good trade. And that's really what I look for in my trades. I like to look for those combinations and confluence of signals. So, you know, here we have first one. If a trade is not obvious, it's obviously not a good trade, by Julian Lewis. Don't be these golfer guys. Do it all you want when you're golfing, but don't be these golfer guys and try to make something out of a trade that's really not there. So thank you, Steve. Appreciate the graphic. And that dovetails nicely with Julian Lewis, what he says, if a trade is not obvious, it's obviously not a good trade. So thank you. I really thought that was good. And, you know, internalize that, everybody. Internalize that. Sear it into your psyche. And it should really be an obvious trade. Don't try to make a trade out of something that's not. Yeah, sound good? Bitcoin having a huge day today. I'm so glad. I have a friend that has a lot of Bitcoin, and this move down was nasty. Look at this big move. You might say, Greg, I see a V2. Yes, you are correct. Would I take a V2 here today based upon halfway the washout bar? No, I would not. Look at the risk all the way down to here. Where's the reward? Well, of course, I don't really know where it is. Could it be up here? It could. Then the risk to reward makes sense. But I have to look at this and go, okay, you know, more than likely, where's the reward going to be? I would say somewhere to here. So from here to here, not enough risk. Here to here. So that's kind of how I look at things. Man, it is raining here today like crazy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go on my hike today. I don't know what to do with Steve says RBLX has a new 520 day. All right, let's put this down. That's what's great about Steve. Steve is the crossover master. And thank you, Steve, for pointing these out to us. Dang it. See, so this one I don't have enough data on here, but I certainly believe you. Roku, yes. Roku also has a 520 crossover. Steve says, I'm going to continue to hold PLTK as my target is the 70 RSI and the candlestick turned out bullish so far. PLTK. I'm using another charting software because I'm helping a friend trade Bitcoin, and so I can pull it up on there, but I guess I can't share that. Yeah, that looks good. RSI is 59.98, up 1.86% today. Nice, Steve. Very, very nice. All right, before I start on the new stuff, let me look at the old stuff. AGQ, doing great. On the weekly, good. Budweiser on the monthly, doing great. CVS on the daily. Yeah. So if CVS closes below the 5-day EMA today, I am out of there because it got to 65 RSI. And if it gets to 65 RSI and then closes below the 5-day, I am out of there. Those are my rules. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but it's nice to have rules, everybody. It's nice to have rules. They're not always going to work, but it's so much easier on you mentally and emotionally just to have rules. I do this, but I don't do this. It's just, doesn't mean that I want to get out of this, hope springs eternal and all that kind of stuff, but it's just more sustainable. So I'll have to watch CVS. I'm going to have to put a little something here for me. Whenever you see blue, that means I may have to do something with it today. Goldman Sachs, that's fine. IBB, that's fine. ILMN, I'm going to have to sell that today because of earnings, so I'll just sell that. KMX, what happened? Did we go? I guess the market really turned around, didn't it? I mean, I still like CarMax, no problem. Light on the weekly, yes, good. Merck, fine. Okay. Lova says, Lyft is coming down from near the same high it came down from after the last 520 cross. Is that a concern? Doesn't seem to be any major moving averages there. Well, let's look. Yeah, I mean, I would look at it that way. I mean, this is resistance here. Last time you were 100% Lova. Very good analysis. You're getting better and better, and we're right here again. It got right there and reversed back down. MACD is not positive. I don't know if I'll take Lyft today. I'll go through the others, but I was discussing with Jonathan last night that you can have a 520 cross. It doesn't mean you have to take it. It means, like for me, I'm going to look at other stocks. And if I saw something with a 520 cross that also had a positive MACD, I would just choose that over Lyft just based upon that. See what I mean? So let's get to it and take a look. Roku. All right. Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Roku has a 520 cross today, 360.59 to 360. So that is a 520 crossover. The resistance is up here, although we do have a downward sloping 50-day moving average, which might be a concern. I don't know. But we have the 520 crossover, and MACD is positive when we went under 50 over 50. So do you see why I would take Roku over Lyft just because of that reason? ARKK. ARKK, of course, is heavily positioned in tech, and we do have the techs coming out. We have the earnings coming out. Let me run this 520. On ETF replay, and let's see what it says. I would imagine it backtests positively. It does. Here we go. I'm using this by ETF replay by permission, by the way, and this is what I use for my backtesting. So here we go. 520 EMA crossover on ARKK. Run the backtest, and yes, it does backtest well. 277.7%. Buy and hold was 563.50, so better buy and hold, but the drawdown was only 28.7 compared to 42.5. So am I going to buy this? Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly looks pretty good. V2 in place and a 520 crossover. That's good. We got above the 50-day moving average. That's good. Let's go back over to Roku. 520 crossover has that 520 coming down. Look at the weekly, right in the value zone. Earnings are on the 5th, so there's a while. Both of these are good. Roku is in a better place on the daily, still in the value zone, while ARKK is extended. We are halfway of this big down bar. That concerns me. Just that by itself would make me like Roku better right off the bat. Okay. IWM. Okay, we discussed IWM with the 1030. That looks pretty good. A little high up there in the ATR channels, I would have to say. Big move already off the bottom. Let's look at the 1050. Pretty strong MACD bars that just happened here. Not a lot of volume. Lyft, we talked about Lyft. I think you're right. I don't love it. I don't like it right here in the this previous resistance here. It rejected it fully. Higher on the weekly. RBLX. Okay, that's the one. I don't have the indicator on for myself, so I'm going to let that one go. Let's look at WBA. Walgreens. Nothing on Walgreens. Nectar. A lot of signals on Nectar today. We have a 520 crossover. I believe I tried to back test this and it didn't work. Let's see. NKTR. Yep, sorry, the ETF chosen is unavailable, so can't use that one. So I will stay away from that. Qualcomm's great, 520 crossover. Has earnings in a couple days, rejected the 1 ATR channel. I think I'll stay away from that. QLYS created a fractal. Here's a high with two lower highs to the left, a high with two lower highs to the right. Big move up, big volume. But if I use the 200-day as the risk to reward, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. ENSG. Only 140,000 shares. Square having a big day. Square looks pretty strong, although there's no particular signals on Square. Beyond Meat. See, we made a lower high. See how this high is lower than this high? Before I want to get involved, I want to wash out. I want a false breakout to the downside of here before I would get involved in this. Whenever there's a lower high in place, I want the washout of that previous low. So I wouldn't be interested in that. CVX, don't really see anything on Chevron. QDEL, big 2 strong days up, but that looks chasey to me. And OTEX, no. I mean, it's a V1, but it's up against a big down distribution bar. Who knows? But I personally, at the moment, probably like Roku the best. The previous high up here gives some room to move. ARK is good as well, but I don't like this. I don't like the big down bar right here. Halfway of that is right almost where we're at with that. So that's a little concerning to me. IWM, look, it's a good crossover. We've broken out over previous highs. That's all good. But I think I like Roku better. Yeah. So I'm going to put Roku up here. And mainly because of the volume and mainly because MACD is positive, just like Lyft. Lyft has a 520 crossover just like Roku, but it doesn't have the positive MACD. So I just want to put the odds as much as I can in my favor. And I feel that buying a 520 crossover when something has a 520 a positive MACD is putting the odds in my favor. Steve says WDC, Western Digital. Oh, yes, it does. Has a lot of volume as well. That's good. Johnson says GILD. Yeah, that looks good, Johnson. V2 5200 SMA support. We made a lower high here, but we did wash out the low. The day one bar looks big, but I think if you take into account the size of one ATR, it's not larger than one ATR. Yeah, that looks good. That looks valid. False breakout to the downside in a V2 under 50, over 50. Looks good. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly, oh, on the week as the 200. Yes, I like that very much. I like that very much. Yavar says SPY 15-minute reversal. Steve says I'm long IWM at 228 after the confluence of the 1030 and the 1050 IRA trade. Okay, good. I will get those updated at the end for sure. All right, so I do have to get out of Illumina today because of the earnings tomorrow. I think I'll just do that right now. Why not? Bam. And what's our friend Apple doing? Oh, look at that big down bar that reversed back up. My gosh. That came back 40 cents quickly. NIO, Lova pointed out NIO today. Look at this big move up 4.48%. What a trade. I don't think Lova had that, but regardless, what a trade. Guess that would have been the right one to pick there with the V1 and the bounce off the 200-day moving average, right? All right, so again, I'm getting out of ILMN because of earnings tomorrow. Oh, I do have to watch CVS as well. Seems like it's holding that 5-day. All right, I'm going to grab a drink real quick. So hang tight. So again, I'm watching CVS to see if we close below the 520. Which is a possibility. I'm waiting for Roku. If it closes above the... It looks like it's going to. Lova says, I do have NIO. I entered trailing stop mode at 520 and break above 50 RSI. Bought it at the close on April 16th. All right. Oh, so you did buy it right where you should have bought it. Excellent. Right there. With the V1, close back above the 200-day moving average, good risk to reward ratio, MACD was positive, and look at this. What a beauty. What a beautiful trade. Oh my gosh, nice and easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. What am I doing? Come on, buddy. All right. All right, we have about 7 minutes. CVS is going to be a photo finish. RBLX. I don't have enough indicators on this one, Paxton, to really make heads or tails of it. It's not a V1 or a V2 or anything, though, that I can see. I mean, it's definitely not a V1 or a V2. What are you seeing? CVS looks like it's going to close below. I'll tell you what. I'm going to sell CVS here. CVS, and lock in some profits. Seems like it's selling off at the end of the day there. Okay, so I got out of CVS. I got out of ILMN too early, it looks like. That's okay. What's VIX doing today? Down 7 cents. Dow's down 75 now. $39.87. All right. $13.17. Okay. That's all good. All right, I guess I better put my game face on. What do you think? And I guess I'll buy Roku. I almost bought VIX instead. Okay. All right, we have about a minute. Okay, that's it. That is it. All right, so where did I get filled over here? SPY, I got filled at 417.61. And Roku, I got filled at 367.89. So, SPY. Get rid of that one. Little overnight SPY gainer, which is good. And then 417.61. So I bought that a little Oh yeah, 4760 is SPY. Yeah. And then Roku, I got filled at 367.89. All right, that was a good fill so far. 367.89. All right, and then I did get rid of CVS, and I did get rid of ILMN. There we go. Done and done. All right. So listen, if any of my students have any new entries for me today up on the board, just go ahead, put them in the live stream, and I will get to them. Before I do that, just want to mention 3 quick things. One, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I really like to teach. I think I'm good at it. I've had really good success with my students. I do teach a course, a one-on-one course, that's a total of 15 hours. 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. That's where you get the 15. I teach you all 5 of my different trading approaches, my 5 different trading approaches. I teach you step by step each one so that you have some tools regardless of what the market's doing, whether it's going down, whether it's going up, sideways. I have a strategy, and I will teach you all 5 strategies. And we do a lot of simulation trades. I teach you at first and I have you take over. You're the one driving. You're the one telling me if we're buying or selling or doing anything or not doing anything. But it's a really great course. I know you'll be a better trader when you get done with this course. I promise you, you will. I've been trading for 25 years. I have a lot of experience. I have worked with some great mentors and teachers like Steve Burns and Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams, and I basically teach you what they have taught me. And so if you are interested, the price is $1,750, but I think it is worth every single penny for the amount of attention you get and all the experience and wisdom that I'm going to imbue onto you in the course. So if you are interested, just send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. If you write me, just say, hey, Greg, I'm possibly interested in taking your one-on-one course. I'll write back, say, hey, how's it going? Thanks for saying hi. Yep, let's do a Skype call. Skype call is totally free. I promise you that. All I want to do is learn more about you and your trading, your trading challenges and your goals. And then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about any particular questions you have about the course. And when we're done with the call, you can think about it as long as you want. If you decide you want to go ahead, schedule it, just write me back and we'll get it all scheduled and we will get rolling. Number 2, I do have an online course on udemy.com. It's the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. It's a wonderful course. It's 9.5 hours of video. It's 15 study guides, 26 total videos. And in there, I teach you step by step how to trade the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading approach. I use this approach all the time. It's one of my favorite ones. And I think the best news really is that it's $12 or $15. I mean, it's the best $12 or $15 you are ever going to spend. I promise you. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description of the udemy.com link is in the description. It will take you right there. And then number 3, lastly, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help to keep the channel around, helps build the channel, lets YouTube know that there's some valuable content on this channel. By you clicking thumbs up button. So if you could do that, I would super really appreciate it. All right, let's get down to business here. Steve went long IWM at $228.28. Okay. And that was a confluence of, so we'll put here Steve, $10.30 EMA and 10.30 SMA and 10.50 10 come on buddy, 10.50 SMA cross. All right, good luck on that, Steve. Paxton, I tried to check that, but I didn't have the indicators. Kamal, no trades today. Sounds good, Kamal. Tracy is out of ILMN because of earnings. All right. We'll take Tracy off of there. Good trade, Trace. And Tracy is in RBLX. Okay, with the 520, right? All right, and that's Tracy and Packy. Tracy and Paxton. All right, good luck on there. Frank says out of ILMN. Okay, that was a good little trade for us. Out of KMX is a washout. Okay, good. So that just means a scratch trade. In IWM. Okay. Frank is in IWM. Half. Okay. And also oh no, he's in full IWM and he's in half AARK, I think. ARKK, I always get those mixed up. $127.55. Frank 1/2. Okay, I think I got those now. Gary says no new trades today. Okay, sounds good. Kamal says thank you, Greg. Have a great day. You as well. Kamal. Jonathan is in ROKU. Okay. Anything going on with Tesla yet? David is an ROKU. Looks like Tesla's earnings are out. It's down $4 right now. Oh, that was kind of a false headline. I don't see anything yet. So all in all, not too bad of a day. CVS, I am the only one left in CVS, right? Yeah, so I'll take that off the board. Okay. Is anyone seeing Tesla's earnings out for real, or was that just kind of a teaser headline? Should be interesting. VIX is up a little bit. SPY is down a little bit. Roku is up a little bit. Qs are down a little bit. Tesla's down $8 now. Okay, Tesla posts record net income of $438 million. Revenue surges by 74%. And the stock is down. All right, while we're watching that, let me just quickly do my little saying that I like at the end of every podcast by Martin Kornfeld. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. Short and sweet, to the point. But yeah, let's go out and do one random act of kindness daily. Just hold the door open for someone. Just be pleasant. Give them a smile. Give them a hand. You know, it really could make someone's day. And if we could also go out and try to do something nice for an animal, just say hello, pat it on the head. If you have a little treat, give them a little treat. If you have a dog, take it on a walk. It will appreciate that, and it will make you feel better. It will make the dog feel better. It will make the other human feel better. It's a win-win-win all around. And, you know, why not do it, right? Hopefully, you know, hopefully not, I guess I should say, but maybe one day, when you need it, someone will do it for you as well, and I know you'll appreciate it. So let's take the first step, take the initiative, and go out and do one nice thing for another human and another human being. Animal and a human being. Sorry. All right, well, listen, everybody, I think that's it. Unless anybody has any other questions for me, let me know. Glad to see Kamal's being super patient with his trades. Glad to see that. And yeah, I guess that's it. Have a good day. Be nice, right? Be safe, drive safe, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully during the last hour of the market. So thanks everybody for coming. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. And on the way out, I have to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Thanks a lot. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.